Today's weekly wrap, we are coming from the Senate chambers, and we will just slowly pan around the room, give you an idea what the chamber looks like here. Balcony seating up above. Once again, a beautiful room, incredible architectural work done. Columns, seating. There's where you'll watch when they take the vote on the Senate floor. Hello, welcome back for another weekly wrap from the House. I'm State Representative Jay Reed. Today we are in the Senate chambers, actually sitting at desk number 1 that belongs to Senator Kerry Roberts. He's one of the senators that overlap into my district that we work well together. But let us begin with the weekly wrap. House Republicans file legislation empowering Tennessee to lead on health care. Recently, House Republicans introduced legislation that will empower Tennessee to lead on health care and create a patient-centered system that addresses the unique needs of our citizens while lowering costs. House Bill 1280 calls on the governor, acting through the Commissioner of Finance and Administration, to submit a waiver to the Federal Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services to immediately provide assistance to the state's TennCare population through the implementation of block grants. Block grants authorized through House Bill 1280 must convert the federal share of all medical assistance funding for Tennessee into an allotment that is tailored to meet our state's specific needs. All grant funding must be indexed to take into account both inflation and population growth. In recent years, Tennessee has become a national leader in innovation. Whether it is job creation or improving our education system, this legislation enables us to once again lead on a critical local and national issues without federal mandates. Obamacare expansion won't alleviate rural hospital struggles. Reports began circulating earlier this month that Cumberland River Hospital would be closing on March 1st. Following this news, House Democrats immediately began spreading their false narrative that expanding Obamacare would solve all of the issues facing our rural hospitals. However, this is simply not true. According to the Upper Cumberland Business Journal, the decision to close Cillian's Cumberland River Hospital ultimately came down to 3 major factors: declining reimbursements from all payers, increasing operating costs, and decreasing patient volume. While House Democrats use the excuse of rural hospital struggles to push their liberal agenda for socialized medicine, Republicans are working to provide patient-centered solutions to our health care crisis. In the days, weeks, and months ahead, House Republicans will unveil a new plan that focuses on the unique needs of our citizens by implementing a patient-centered approach to address health care. We will achieve our goals of increasing access, improving the quality of care, and lowering costs through increased competition and transparency. The next item, Governor Bill Lee announces the Future Workforce Initiative. Legislative agenda increases science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in K-12. Schools to core jobs of the future. This week, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee announced the Future Workforce Initiative to increase science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, also known as STEM, training in K-12 schools as part of his first-year legislative agenda for education. The investment in STEM-focused early college and career experiences support the Tennessee Department of Education's Tennessee Pathways certification process, as well as the STEM schools designation partnership with groups like Tennessee STEM Innovative Network and Code.org. The Future Workforce Initiative aims to put Tennessee in the top 25 states for job creation in the technology sector by 2022 through 3 areas of emphasis, including: number 1, launching new CTE programs focused in STEM fields with 100 new middle school programs and tripling the number of STEM-designated public schools by 2022. Number 2, growing the number of teachers qualified to teach work-based learning and advanced computer science courses through STEM, teacher training and implementation of K-8 computer science standards. Number 3, expanding post-secondary STEM opportunities in high school through the increased access to dual credit AP courses and dual enrollment. The next item. Republican lawmakers introduced legislation to prevent elder financial abuse and fraud. This week, Republican lawmakers introduced legislation to increase the penalty for those who are financially exploiting Tennesseans through telephone and electronic scams. As introduced, House Bill 799 increases the penalty and broadens the offense of financial exploitation of an elderly or vulnerable person to include the use of a telephone or other electronic or communications device to fraudulently or deceptively obtain or attempt to obtain money, property, or anything of value from the victim. According to media reports, law enforcement officials have been warning Tennesseans, especially our elderly and vulnerable adults, about potentially scams targeting these groups during tax season. Some of these scam artists will call or email and pose as the Internal Revenue Service, or the IRS, officials asking for sensitive information. Don't be fooled by these callers. Ask for the name, title, and phone number, but don't call back. Report any suspicious activity to the property authorities. And last on the weekly wrap agenda, Governor Lee, Republican leaders announce FedEx Logistics move to downtown Memphis. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee joined with Republican leaders in FedEx Logistics earlier this week to announce the company will move into headquarters to downtown Memphis, an investment of $44 million, which will create 689 jobs. A subsidiary of FedEx Corporation, FedEx Logistics provides worldwide freight forwarding services that can help increase supply chains efficiently and drive down costs by replacing a maze of channels with one global distribution command and control center. FedEx Logistics integrates international freight forwarding, customs brokerage, trade and custom advisory services, and other cross-border services to create comprehensive solutions to international trade. According to the press release, FedEx Logistics will be consolidating its Memphis operations into the former Gibson Guitar Factory building located in downtown Memphis. FedEx currently employs more than 30,000 people in the Memphis area. That's it for the weekly wrap. I would like to share with you a book by Bill Lee, our now governor, with David Lamberth, forwarded by Michael W. Smith, titled This Road I'm On. Also the subtitle, The Power of Hope in the Face of Adversity. On the back, because this book, and this is a quote from the forwarded by Michael W. Smith, because this book fairly represents Bill's life and heart, you will be helped and you will be changed. I know, because his life has inspired and helped and changed me. Life, Bill explains, is bittersweet, sometimes bitter, sometimes sweet. The sweet has been his family and their support of each other, that great growing up years he and his kids have experienced on the family farm, the satisfaction of heading up to his family business over the years, the opportunity to serve his community, his state, and the world. Bill has been able to create This Road I'm On memoir of a life filled with story, with pathos, with both laughter and tears, with unforgettable moments. It's the story of a man who time and again chose the welfare of his kids over his own happiness, who doesn't hesitate to acknowledge his own faults, who strives to find time in his busy life to invest in the lives of others, whose values his rural upbringing as much as his days in the boardroom, who has found hope in the midst of struggle and pain, and who understands that the sweet is that much bitter, and who understands that the sweet is that much sweeter when you've first tasted the bitter. So with that, if you want to look for this book, would be a great opportunity to learn about our governor now, Governor Bill Lee. This Road I'm On. Then the last thing I'd like to share with you was a letter that I received from Speaker of the House Glenn Cassada, and it's in reference to the Governor's Council for Armed Forces, Veterans, and their families. Dear Representative Reeder, let me start this letter over. Received this letter from the House Speaker Glenn Cassada. It referenced Governor's Council for Armed Forces, Veterans, and their families. Dear Representative Reedy, as Speaker of the House of Representatives, acting pursuant to the Executive Order Number 15 of 2012, I am appointing you to serve as a member of the Governor's Council for Armed Forces, Veterans, and their families. Your service begins immediately and ends November 3rd, 2020, and is served at the pleasure of the Speaker of the House of Representatives as the appointing authority. I am forwarding a copy of this letter to Commissioner Courtney Rogers. Commissioner Rogers' office will be contacting you in the near future regarding this appointment. I am confident that you will perform the duties of the office with high standard of professionalism, dedication, and integrity that the citizens of Tennessee deserve and expect of their public servants. Best wishes, Glenn Cassada, Speaker Glenn Cassada of the House. To let you know, 2 years ago I was appointed by the Speaker of the House, Beth Harwell, for the Governor's Council for Armed Forces, Veterans, and their families under Commissioner Manny Bear Grinders. I appreciate what those folks do for our veteran. Being a veteran, I understand a lot of the issues and certainly look forward to serving on this Governor's Council for another 2 years. Hope you enjoy this week's weekly wrap. Not sure, across the hall from the Senate chambers is the library. Maybe let's just plan on it that we'll have our weekly wrap coming from that wonderful room that has a lot of history as well. Thank you, and God bless.